Taylor Swift just appeared on what has to have been a live stream that breaks records. I think this was actually a fairly groundbreaking moment in pop culture because Taylor Swift is one of the most famous, one of the most powerful celebrities in the entire world, and yet she has not been on one of the most popular, powerful mediums in the entire world, which is podcasting, until just a couple of hours ago when two football players, one of whom happens to be her boyfriend, but Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce, Mr. Swift as Travis, should henceforth be known. They aren't quite married yet, but we will see. Dropped an episode of their New Heights podcast that was basically a live premiere of their conversation with Taylor Swift about her new album. And guys, I'm about to be really embarrassed by this conversation. Let me
like you said, isn't that a day that ends in Y?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let me just back up and give some personal context. I am slightly younger than these two very young, very energetic.
Control yourself.
You don't understand. Emily, Rachel and I were just texting each other behind in the green room about how we don't like Taylor Swift, but at least she's a member of the Crone Caucus.
Oh,
unlike you.
Yeah, she's a little bit older than me.
Unlike you.
Yeah, that's what they call themselves. It's weird, but so Taylor Swift is a little bit older than me, but I was like a young teenager, like right in the demo when Taylor started getting famous, and I loved Taylor because I bought into the myth about Taylor as the songwriter and grew up on country music, all that good stuff, and there was something so American and innocent and wonderful about Taylor Swift, and then she became American in a bad way. She became American in this way where she was this like indulgent, woke, and I would say like faux selfless millennial who was starting to find her purpose and meaning through politics and social media, and was doing the breadcrumbs on Tumblr and leaning into calling Marsha Blackburn Trump in a wig and putting out a documentary, Miss Americana, of course. And it just, I thought she was a very accurate reflection of millennial anxiety and rudderlessness. And I feel like actually Travis Kelce has maybe, and this makes me sound like the most misogynistic, basic fairy tale type anti-feminist in the world, but I honestly feel like Travis Kelce has pulled her out of that period of meaningless and purposelessness, and now I find her likable again when she's sitting next to Travis freaking Kelce. Let's roll this clip because she talks a little bit about what it's like to date in like 2025. I guess they probably started dating, 2023? This is going to be S5, Taylor on the Algorithm.
Like, information is power, I guess, unless all of your information is geared towards you thinking that everything is about you. Because, not everyone is ever thinking about one person all the time at any point. It's just like, if your algorithm is giving you either criticisms of yourself or adulation or praise, you're creating an ecosystem in which you're the centerpiece of the table. And I just don't think that's healthy. Like, that's not the way I want to move through the world. So I do detach from the internet in a huge way. Like, I'm just not, I have had my comments disabled on Instagram for like 10 years now.
Yeah.
And
it's very
I
smart.
don't miss it.
Yeah.
My business is making music and taking care of my fans. And I have ways of monitoring what they want from me and how best to entertain them, which is my job.
Yeah.
And everything else, I'm just sort of like, it's not my business. I have actual business that I need to run.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if we just talked about what people said about our relationship?
Yeah.
Because if we talked about that would be all we talked about, because there's so much chatter. It's like, we're busy having an actual relationship.
Okay, this is from the woman who used to respond to random fans on Tumblr, which was in a way kind of sweet, but like she was seemingly obsessed with building or constructing this sort of mystery about herself in ways that were occasionally clever. But like 10 years ago, she was another millennial Tumblr girly. Inez, am I wrong to be somewhat moved by that like silly little interaction she had with Travis Kelce and his brother? I don't know. Yeah, I'm wrong, I guess. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, you're wrong. I think this is cultivated like everything else, right? But I do think it says that as the overused phrase goes, the vibe has shifted, right? But I think
that's a good point. No, wait. Can I just say that's such a good point, because this is happening post 2024 vibe shift. She is no longer obsessed with putting forward this image of herself as a sort of feminist man eater who is, that hasn't been every chapter in her career, but it has been some chapters in her career. Like, she had to prove that to the world. And I feel like this is a Taylor Swift who's not trying to prove anything about men and women anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think I'm a good person to ask, because I've never been a Taylor Swift fan, despite being in her Crone Caucus demographic. I just have never found that her music ever spoke to me. The most misogynistic tweet I've ever
You're so
seen,
Polish. You're so Polish.
the most misogynistic tweet I've ever seen in, I don't know, 15 years or 12 years on Twitter, whatever embarrassing number that is, okay, was this tweet from this woman who said that Taylor Swift represents the interior monologue of all women. I have no response to that. Like, I read the most vicious incel commentary, and I'm like, I think that is less misogynistic than that.
Incredible.
So I've never been a big Taylor Swift fan. It's not even that I hated her. It was just I developed a dislike for her when she was constantly being marketed to me. I have I think a neutral feeling towards her. I didn't like her music, didn't really like her, but didn't hate her either, until they kept shoving her in my face and I finally got annoyed. But yeah, I mean, she is the queen of the algorithm. She's the queen of being able to market herself. I think this is one aspect of that. And if you think this is genuine, I think you are getting played. That being said, she's using to market herself and what she thinks will work to market herself now versus 2 years ago versus 5 years ago, I think does say something about the culture.
Well, these are the lies that you're able to tell yourself because the culture, something is en vogue at the time. And if it's, you need to calm down style feminism, which, again, by the way, just a little personal background here. I had a giant section of the Drudge Report for something I wrote in the Federalist when that music video came out, calling it elitist trash. So for me to be moved by Taylor and Travis, who is the most all-American Ohio NFL dude, and they're sitting there just chopping it up, nothing over intellectualized, because Taylor Swift often does over intellectualized things. She's such a type A millennial woman who's obsessed.
She's very millennial in that she's super, super self-aware.
Super self-aware.
Yes, self-aware.
Yes.
That is true. In that sense, she is representative of millennials.
But isn't the sanguine take, though, that she is now in a relationship that actually means something?
That's what I'm thinking.
And that pulls you out of yourself.
Yes.
Right? It pulls
Thank you
you
for
out
saying
of
that.
this overthink. I mean, who knows, right? This is just my sanguine take on it. But pulls you out of this overthinking, posing performance that her whole life has been up until this point. So maybe who knows? Maybe she's actually happy and is like, I don't need this.
I think that's what
this is too much for my brain.
I feel like you said what I was trying to say, but my drink is empty, so I couldn't quite get there.
Well, the only other observation I had was that Travis Kelce was looking at her like, she said the word ecosystem. So hot. I don't even know what that means. So it could also be that.
She's very much
going to be
girl.
the model of the new pairing of America with the over-credentialed women, which is
so
the woman with the master's degree and the guy who doesn't know what a primary is.
Right. And doesn't need her to have a master's degree, but kind of thinks it's cute.
Yeah.
I actually think the world would be a better place if men just generally treated 90% of the degrees that women have received over the past 30 years as something cute, like the way that they're, oh yeah, she's into Pinterest and she has a master's degree. I think that would be a more accurate way of conceiving of what that is.
Or a master's degree in Pinterest.
I mean, that's coming.
You laugh, but it's getting pretty close to that. Have you seen some of these college course descriptions?
No, I know you
have a PhD in Harry Potter.
Well, Bovard does.
Oh, well, naturally. I don't talk about that one. Actually, it's hanging on the wall over there.
Well, I'm going to roll one more clip, and it's going to be of Taylor and Travis, but it's also going to lead our way into a lovely headline in The Cut. So let's go ahead and roll S6 here.
It was such a wild romantic gesture to just be like, I want to date you. Like on, I don't know. It was at first when I looked at it, I was
Sweetie,
like, this dude is.
That's what it does when you're on the stage and you perform in Arrowhead. That's what it did.
This dude didn't get a meet and greet. He's making it everyone's problem. Where that, like, I'm not an online person at all. I'm not like on social media like that. And like, I'm genuinely terrified to open my DMs.
Smart.
It's just like there's smoke coming out of my DMs. Like, I don't want to go near that. I don't know what's.
If you want somebody to go through it, I'll go through it just because I'll laugh my ass off.
It's like if you have like 20 million unread DMs, you're
Are
just
you
like,
not entertained?
So this kind of felt more like I was in an 80s John Hughes movie and he was just like standing outside of my window with a boombox, just being like, I want to date you.
Yeah.
Do you want to go on a date with me? I made you a friendship bracelet. Do you want to date me?
Just come outside and meet me. Just meet me once. Just give me a chance.
So I was like, if this guy isn't crazy, which is a big if, this is sort of what I've been writing songs about wanting to happen to me since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
This is sort of what I've been writing songs about wanting to happen to me since I was a teenager, right off the cuff, off the dome, on the podcast. Inez is wrong. It's not all fake. Well, over the years, I've been clear about this. I'm not just pro-birth. I'm pro-life. And being pro-life, of course, means standing with mothers, not only before their baby is born, but long after. And that is exactly why I partner very proudly with Preborn. Preborn doesn't just save babies, they make motherhood abundantly possible. They provide free ultrasounds and share the truth of the gospel with women in crisis, and then they stay with real practical help, including financial support for up to 2 years after the baby is born. Amazing. This is what true Christ-centered compassion looks like, not just for that little baby, but for the mother too. And here's where you can make a difference. Just $28 provides a free life-saving ultrasound. One chance for a mother to see her baby, and when she does, she's twice as likely to choose life. Preborn is trying to save 70,000 babies this year, so don't just say you're pro-life. Live it. Help save babies and support mothers today. Go to preborn.com/Emily or call 855-601-2229. That's preborn.com/Emily.